Say it again, James.
Which part?
You gotta be fine with getting sweaty.
Gotta be fine with getting sweaty. It's true.
Yeah, put your
Some people
shorts
that
on.
don't like sweating. You know, for a while I was one of those people. I didn't like to break a sweat unless I was like purposefully exercising.
I am not a very sweaty guy. I see these people at the gym and they're just wow, and I'm just
man.
I wish I could sweat like that.
Well, it does seem like purifying, like they getting all the toxins out.
Yeah.
But man, I have a friend that like he sweats so hard that it's like its own. He plays a lot of basketball.
All right, don't say
like
his name because we're recording here.
Defense.
Hi, and welcome to Seattle's #1 comic book podcast. This is the podcast that is dedicated to the first issue of your next favorite comic. I'm Larry, episode 101. Sorry, James. Who else is here?
Me.
Me who?
101.
100.
Me who? Well, it behooves me to say my name is James.
Hi, James.
Does that make sense?
It behooves us.
Sure, I'm James Fitz, your co-host with the co-most.
All right, we're up and running. This is episode 101, like the rum. And
Dalmatians that I would be way too many to own.
that'd be a lot of dogs. You're in an apartment, right?
Yeah, exactly. Can't have any dogs.
This is a review show. Every week, James and I read and review a new #1 comic, or a new to us #1 comic. It's not necessarily new. This one came out in 2013. Is that right? No. I did not get the date.
I was about to look
this.
it up and
I didn't get the
got
date.
distracted for a second.
I think I'm going to look it up now.
Well, it's called Cluster.
It's called Cluster, so 2015.
That's
2015.
There you go.
All right, so
That's
we got
pretty
there.
recent, actually.
But
Should we? But before we get into Sheltered, Larry,
no,
do we have
Clustered.
any recent indecents for this week?
I do.
Clustered. I was
Well-
reading the first word of the description.
All right, I do have a recent and decent, and this one is 1,000 issues in the making.
Whoa, that doesn't sound very recent, Larry.
Recent and
Sounds like
decent.
1,000 years ago it began.
Action Comics #1000. Now I'm gonna dial up the website that I got this off of. I have I have this digitally on my Kindle, and I loved it. It's 10 or 15 Superman stories. It is written by too many to list here, but I'll give you some of the heavy hitters. There's a Brian Michael Bendis, a Paul Dini, a Butch Geist, a Jeff Johns, a Tom King, a Jim Lee,
Jeff John, I know Jeff John.
Scott Snyder, and more.
Oh, I know Scott Snyder.
There's so many great artists, and so it's I think it's 80 issues. I think there's maybe 80 issues, 80 pages, and there are all these great little love letters to Superman. There's some of the funnest Superman stories that you're going to read. And if you're a DC guy and you don't even have
They're
to
the
be.
only shoes I wear.
You need to know who Superman is, Lois Lane, and Jimmy Olsen, and you're set. This was so much fun.
I know that.
I didn't get through the whole thing. It was so big. You should take the day off. Take the day off and
if you insist.
Take the day off. Get Action Comics 1000 written by a myriad of people. It's gonna cost you $8 at the comic store, but you're gonna read it over and over. It's Action Comics 1000.
1000. That seems like a collectible comic.
Recent and decent. I wish I would have bought it in the. I can't double dip, but I should have bought it in the physical forms. Yes, and I did double dip. I didn't have to double dip on Cluster.
Do you own any of the other 1,000 issues?
I probably do. I don't own all 1,000 because one of them's worth $1 million, over $1 million.
Number one?
Yeah, Action Comics #1 is Actually, they were working on a movie. I wish that this movie got made because Nicolas Cage owns one of the copies, one of these very super rare
really?
comics, and it was taken from his house, taken from a vault in his house during a remodel of some sort.
Are you serious?
And
just like National Treasure?
Just like National Treasure.
But in reverse?
In reverse, because it really was him. And he worked together with like a sting team and to get this comic back. And they captured the guys, and they were going to make it into a big budget movie, but it never happened. I think that would
really get Nicolas Cage.
He'd
probably do it.
He was going to act in his own movie.
That'd be cool if he played like the bad guy,
the contractor with the lockpick. So
very interesting.
What did you think of this cover? Oh, go on, James.
Oh, should we dive into Cluster?
Diving into Cluster. What did you think of this? I'm gonna do the. There's a lot to read for the intro, so maybe I'll let you paraphrase.
For the summary, it kind of broke it down into why Boom loves it, which is Boom is the publisher, why you'll love it, and what it's about. So I'll just do the what it's about.
Okay.
In the distant future, as mankind discovers life on other planets, it needs soldiers to defend its colonies and outposts across the stars. In order to increase the number of boots on the ground, criminals are offered an opportunity to serve in place of incarceration. But as wars wage and more soldiers are needed, small-time crimes are given long-term punishments. When a group of prisoners serving their time as soldiers become stranded and abandoned on a war-torn planet, they'll need to work together to survive and uncover the truth behind Earth's role in deep space. It's got a lot to it.
It's got a lot to it, and this first issue's got a great cover. Do you recognize this artist? This is James.
The cover's very detailed.
Very detailed. It's James Stocco art doing the cover.
Oh.
Orkstain.
From Orkstain, I can totally see the Orkstain in it. Like, it's got that same kind of color scheme a little bit.
Uh-huh.
With, like, the mossy greens and the greens to yellow.
And all these little organic details going up the mountain behind it and stuff. And this is
very organic.
Very cool cover. And our main character.
He does, like, a organic sci-fi that's good. It's like it's in the future, but in the past at the same time somehow. Yeah.
And our main character is kind of reminiscent of One Eye. Well, maybe not. She's got crazy hair. I love her hair. I love her hair when
weapons.
Oh, they got crazy weapons. I love her hair when she's got that sort of like jockstrap thing on.
Yeah, so one of the things that they didn't mention in the first summary is that the prisoners are all females. Like, it's an all-female cast, pretty much.
No, that's not true. It's all female speaking roles for the most part, but it is.
But like usually when you read like Lumberjanes or Rat Queens, it's like they really hit you over the head with like, hey, this is a comic that's got all girls. But like this comic was mainly girls, and they weren't like, it wasn't like they were doing it as their sales pitch, you know?
Oh, right. Yeah.
Like sometimes it's like, I'll ask a girl like, hey, what's your favorite comic? And she'll be like, Jessica Jones, and I'll be like, oh, because it's it's marketed to that.
Right. Maybe Paper Girls, maybe Jessica Jones, Miss Marvel is another one.
Exactly. And this, it is, it took me a while till I even realized it. I'm like, wait a second here. Like, it does it like it should be done, in my opinion.
Yeah. So the writers here are, the writer is Ed Brisson.
Ed Brisson.
And the art, the interior art is Damien Caracio?
Cosirio? And
it was published by Boom Studios. Cosiro.
It's Damien. Have you seen any of these people before? I recognize Ed
Brisson did Sheltered from last year.
Oh, yeah. I really liked Sheltered.
And I do not recognize
Actually, I think a medium
Damien
light film.
Carosio from anywhere, but man, I love this line. It is good looking.
Yeah, definitely. Even like, so I actually, I liked the cover, but I liked this first page that wasn't the real page, whatever the inside cover. Usually those are not very good or kind of wasted, but I really like this orange-yellow inside cover thing.
Oh yeah, where we see the handcuff, the person is handcuffed behind with these space cuffs, and it's cool. Cuff. Life sentence? ? Fight for your planet instead of your, and you're out in 15 years.
Which doesn't seem like that much. Like that seems like so long.
I know. I was just like 15 years, and I might get killed.
Yeah.
Or life. I don't know. You're out in 15 years. But like, I mean, like, my mind while I was reading it kept going to, so often you, like the classic, somebody murdered somebody and then they got out in 8 years on good behavior or, overpopulation or whatever, bureaucracy or somebody like, something came up on an appeal and I don't know, like, there's always this like,
that's the one that gets me the best is bureaucracy. Because then your character can still be innocent.
Okay.
Because then it's like, it's the fault of the system rather than like, I committed a crime. Or it could be like what they were saying in the intro is like a very small crime where like the government is corrupt or something like that, or like imprisoned for a crime they didn't commit. I always like that a little bit better.
And we see that a little bit here too. The interior we get into, one of the inmates is inside for stealing nail polish, but they said she did it with a gun.
Yeah, and that's a minimum 15 years, which just so happened. But so then the thing is, to me, it was like, wait, it's a minimum 15 years, so then. Is it all life sentences that get turned into these space colony things?
That's what I was. Yeah, it would make sense. 15 years, or so
like a turn life to 15 years.
So, do you want to get into it? Because
let's get into it. Because there's a lot of it. It does a good job of slowly revealing the plot. Like you almost don't even get to what the comic really is, but till the end.
Yeah, like the last 2 pages are what the comic is. And you gave like in the intro, it kind of gives you that, we're going to get stranded and we're going to have to work together. That's the gist of the comic. But the setup is great. So we have this gal who is we don't know this yet, but we see it. It starts out in a flashback.
It looks like there's a crashed vehicle in the rain, and she's like thrown to the side, and then like these cops come, these like flying cops, I guess, in their flying car. So then you're like, all right, it's sci-fi, okay, and okay, there's some kind of accident, and then the police come and they reveal like, okay, we're gonna charge you with a crime, and it's ambiguous as to like how at fault she is, but. Basically, there's like maybe someone still in the vehicle that's burning and she wants to help, but they have to go through the bureaucracy of processing her first.
Right.
And so you get that first taste of like, this isn't, this world doesn't care about people, it cares about rules, or it's not where you want to be. And
what happens is this victim in this burning car or burning space vehicle dies. She's like there was a chance to save this person, but that chance flew away when they put the guns on this gal, and that's that. Put your hands up or we start shooting. The entire
your knees aren't on the ground. We can't proceed with the next step.
Right, and that next step. Well, none of these steps should have been taken. They should have saved that, whoever was in that burning car, and they just took her down. And we don't, and I feel as though she is, like the cops are just here a little bit in the fact that,
they say she's intoxicated.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's true or not.
I don't know if it's true or not either, but she even later